이 진짜 힘들 때까지 제가 운동을 하거든요. 근데 이제 문제는 그거를 계속 하니까 몸이 익숙해진 거예요, 그거에. 그래가지고 그렇게 해도 이제 어, 힘이 아니 넘치더라고요, 이제 저녁까지. 진짜 모르겠다. 네. I didn't watch Money Heist, but I will. I should watch Money Heist. Language I want to learn. I want to learn Spanish for sure. I feel like that would help me a lot going around um, South America. Yeah, because I do like going there. Um, it's funny when you speak Korean. I don't know if it's like I guess somewhere out of Korea. And say for me, for example, I'm very comfortable using English because I was born and raised in Australia, and the there be? I don't know, like maybe there'll be, you probably have to go a bit deeper to get like proper fish. So I'll probably use my boat. Um, Usually grubs or something, and then you get a hook, you get those bugs. I guess fish eat all types of but because I was on a island for a split second. Yeah, but that shit, that would be fun. Yeah. It'll be like an island, or I don't know, there'll be something else to do. Hmm. 동물 숲 game. Right. It's crazy. You know, I mean, like, it's been on my mind. Like, if you're like stranded on an island of some sort, and then it's like, you've pretty much exhausted your water supply, and you're freaking thirsty. Like, how would you distill water, or would you get it from like the trees of some sort? Like I've heard, or would that like depend on where you are? But then, if it's like a rainforest type of terrain, I mean, wouldn't trees carry some water? And then it's like I saw some people like cut a little bit of the tree, and then water started coming out. I don't know, maybe that's like a type of tree of some sort. But maybe that's what I'll do. I think that would be freaking insane. If I did that and that happened, just like I saw on YouTube, I'll freak out. I'll start doing like, I'll just try to start remembering like what would Bear Grylls do? Like what would that crazy guy do? oh, what do you do? And then I'll remember, like, oh shit, he would, damn, like some of these guys would probably drink their own piss and stuff, and I'll just be like, nope, can't do that. Yeah, it'll be good if they have coconuts. You know, I've tried a lot of coconuts in my life. Yeah, I used to stay at this place called Vanuatu for a while, and they had a lot of coconuts there. Trust me. The hardest part about that was cracking that coconut open, and then it's pretty hard. What's up, Dre? I'm sorry, I'm just going on about how cool it would be to be stranded on an island of some sort. Oh, you know, that would be a dream and a nightmare come true. Yeah. I think you go crazy, especially if you're by yourself. The solitariness would absolutely drive you insane. And, you know, you just start talking to yourself. Just like I'm kind of doing right now. I'm talking to a phone, you know. Granted, there's a lot of people on the other side of the phone. But, you know, if we had to remove that idea, I'm technically talking into a phone right now. So this is what I guess it would be like. I would be talking to a phone, and I'll be confused as to why it was raining a second ago and now it's like sunny. But then I guess that's what tropical means, right? Yeah. I would love to document it, but I know a lot of people have been doing that, you know. So I think that would be pretty cool. I guess when it comes to food, and you want to eat meat, and then there's a lot of, I guess, wildlife around you. You know, I guess if you're desperate enough, you would have to take the life of the wildlife creature, and then kind of put it in your belly. But I don't know. I don't think I'd have the heart to do it for a good 3 weeks after starving. Yeah. You know what I found was efficient was, without having to hunt, and was a little bit more effective than everything else, is laying down traps. Right? I think traps are an amazing source of getting food, whether it be for fish or for any wildlife, you know. And I think that would be pretty ideal because, you know, you wouldn't have to do the dirty deed. I mean, you technically are doing the same thing, but, you know, you're doing it for survival. So, I mean, I guess it would be okay. The only problem is, like where would you set the traps? I feel like I'm the type of person that'll set a trap and I'll fall in it myself. And after that point, I'll be so traumatized that there'll still be like about 20 traps that I set everywhere. But because for some dumb reason I fell into one of the traps, I'll be so traumatized that I think I wouldn't even venture off into checking onto the other traps. I think that's what would happen. And like, that would suck. Yeah. So, just a thought. But anyway, yeah, fucking hell. Speaking of which, I don't think I've ever set a trap in my life. That's a very good question. Have I ever thought about how I would survive a zombie apocalypse? It's a very good question. You know what? I thought about that countless times. Like, did I think going to the highest place possible would be safe? But then, you know, you'd have to think, like, then you need escape routes. You need a helicopter. So let's say you have a helicopter. You need someone that can fly a helicopter. So you need a helicopter and you need a helicopter driver. Pilot, sorry. I mean, what are the chances that you'll get 2 of those? And then, so honestly, like, obviously high places, unless, you know, the high places, right, for some reason you had a zip line connecting all these buildings to different areas, so these zip lines can take you to and from. Unless you're stuck with ridiculously advanced, smart zombies that apparently know how to zip line as well. So that would be freaking terrible. That would be terrifying. Have you ever seen a zombie zip line? That's a pretty cool concept. But yeah, I mean, if you take that out, what are you left with? You're left with, I wouldn't. Okay, another thing is I wouldn't gather and supplies and I wouldn't gather anything. Technically, because I feel like if I did gather a lot of things, I'm just gathering it for someone to rob me. Technically, that's just what's going to happen. I feel like the most scariest part of the zombie apocalypse would be people rather than the zombies. If there's one thing zombie movies taught me is, ironically, a lot of the characters, they don't die to zombies. A lot of the main characters die to people, which is very, very possibly true, So I think I'll keep my distance with people. I would ride a electric scooter. I wouldn't ride a motorbike because that would attract too much noise, attention. So electric scooters, it's quite fast, but it doesn't make a sound. It just makes like a wee sound. So that can't be loud. It's like the same sound as your footsteps. So that's one thing I'd do. What else would I do? Oh, obviously convenience store. Oh, perfect. But then every freaking zombie movie you see, like, they do go to a convenience store. They go to a mart, and always in the fucking mart, there's like some pushed up zombie that was left in the I don't know, the freaking cleaner's room or the closet. I don't know why there would be a closet, but there's always that one random zombie guy that just for some reason couldn't make it out of the mart, and it's always like that. So I'll be pretty skeptical about that, just because the movies made me think like that. So I don't know, like that for me would be target number one though. I would have to go to a convenience store because obviously those are where the supplies are. I would make round trips. I'll try going just before it hits night. The reason why is just when sun sets. I know for a fact if I go during the day, that's what everyone's going to think like. Everyone's going to be like, oh, it's day, it's safe, everyone can see everything. So I feel like I'll run into somebody during the daytime. But if I go at sunset, usually I feel like people would start dipping and going to their safe house during sunset, because that's when obviously the sun goes down and and night is scary, so everyone would probably dip. So that would give me a very high possibility of avoiding just people in general. And regardless, if there's a zombie, then it doesn't matter if it's night or day. It's a fucking zombie. So what are you gonna do? And yeah, that's when I would start moving around. So my time limit will be very short, I feel like. So that's definitely something I kind of thought of, And yeah, obviously we don't have guns here, so we do have sharp weapons, And there's like other options that I kind of thought of, like you kind of do the opposite. So you want to attract, if you're in an area where there's not that many people, but you have a shitload of zombies that are kind of in hiding. I guess my intention would be to make a little, like, I guess a trap, a little hornet's nest, and I'll deliberately attract all the zombies. I don't know whether it be through music or something really loud, but I'll deliberately try finding out all the zombies, make them come to one area, and then it'll just be a matter of time till I keep picking one off. I don't know how I'd do it. I'll probably get like a long pole, with a couple of kitchen knives on it, and then just start kind of poking at their heads one by one until all of them drop. So I mean, if you're kind of scared of them kind of being hiding, just call them out. I mean, they can't be that smart, right? Like, unless they are like very smart zombies and they know you're trapped, and then you're pretty much screwed. Yeah, I mean, I guess it really depends on the situation. If it's like a world where like it's just me and everyone else is a zombie, I don't know. First of all, I'll probably wonder like you know, how the people that I once knew, look as a zombie. So that'll kind of be my first curiosity. I'll be devastated, obviously, but I guess that'll just be. And then I'll convert into zombieism. Yeah, I wouldn't do it through a bite though. I'll just get the blood and I'll just like lick it or something. Very painless way to go, isn't it? Yeah. So I think, yeah. Sorry if I bored everyone, but I guess those are the things that would run through my mind, especially for a zombie apocalypse. Yeah, because there's so many different types of zombies, you know. You got the fast ones. Yeah, you got the really stupid ones. And then you got the ones that are like, that don't know they're a zombie and they just think they're humans. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, so, but it's a good question, man. I think it's definitely something I've always kind of thought about. Yeah, so it's interesting. It's very interesting. Yeah, a zombie apocalypse. Yeah. It's a pretty cool concept. Yeah. What if there were aliens? What would you do if, let's say, we're visited by aliens one day, you know, insane, and you just kind of, and you look at them and you know, they come down from this futuristic looking ship, and you're like, holy shit, it's just like in the movies, you know. And then, but then, you know, the next thing they say is like, no, sorry, not the next thing. When you see them, it's like they look exactly like us. You're like, what the fuck? And you look at them and they're like exactly like us, and you know, they have like this representative, and they're like, you know, all those UFOs that you've sighted and all these things that people see. Well, in actual fact, we're not aliens. We're actually you guys, but we're in the future, and we just came from the future because we found an amazing way to somehow link or go through timelines, find a wormhole of some sort, because it's the future, mind you. And you know, they just all of a sudden pop up, and you know, and I don't know, I guess the first thing that I'll be thinking, if that was the case, if that was the scenario, we'll be like, fuck, I'll be so bummed out, because I was kind of hoping there would be aliens, but instead they're just the future us. So I'll be pretty bummed out. And second of all, I guess everyone will be curious as to what the future would look like, you know. And then you realize, like, the reason why they ever came from the future is because they were trying to prevent a catastrophe of some sort, you know, that was going to happen, like a meteor or something. And you know, like, they needed to tell us something, and we were like, all right, great, like the meteor's coming, so like now what do we do? And I guess the most fucked up part would be like, oh no, we just had to tell you that. And they just get on their spaceship, they just fly up. You're like, what the fuck? So then, I mean, that would be a pretty funny ass movie. So like, yeah, that would be pretty funny. That would absolutely suck, but it would be pretty funny. Anyway, so sorry, enough of that weird ass talk. Like, what else was I gonna say? Yeah, a parallel universe. You know, ever thought of that? Just these multiple universes, obviously parallel to ours, which means, you know, there's different yous, there's different me's, but we're all living in a very different timeline. Sorry, the same timeline, but, you know, different things are happening. And, you know, just kind of thinking like, so don't you, like, if you think that's actually possible, don't you guys, well, this is what I do. I sometimes, there's moments where I'm like on the verge of making a decision, right? Like, say left or right, and then I'm on the verge of going right, but for some odd reason, I'll think the dude in the parallel timeline would do the same thing, so I go left, just for the fuck of it. It has no, there's nothing good that comes out of it. There's no benefits. I just do that to maybe somehow purposely fuck up that parallel universe thing. But what would be really interesting is if that person and if that me in the parallel universe thought the same thing, and in actual fact, like, all these other infinity me's start thinking like that and they all go right. Oh shit. That would be pretty stupid. So I don't know, next time you decide to eat that cake, I guess don't. And for some reason you felt like you've already eaten it, then that's just deja vu. Where do you think deja vu comes from? You know, it's crazy. Because I feel like that is somewhat of like a replicate of a parallel universe. You know, you just happen to get there, like, let's say you just happen to get there a second earlier, you know, and for some reason, I don't know, the dude that made the whole paradigm and all this universal stuff, you know, it just glitches from time to time, and, you know, it's just, I guess, somewhere, because it's all you, so I guess you're all connected somehow. You know, so someone happened to get there a second earlier. So, and, you know, everything's happening. So obviously that's where deja vu comes from. Tell me that's where deja vu comes from. And, you know, it's like, yeah, I've been here, I've seen this, I felt it. Yeah, it's because you have, but it's the other Christian you that you know, felt it a second ago. All right. I've always thought it came from my dreams, but I've never had this exact same dream. So that's pretty much one thing. Yeah. A lot of interesting thoughts. I don't know. I'm not really into too much conspiracy or anything. The reason why is I do a little bit too much of a digging into my own head, that it doesn't become a conspiracy theory anymore. It just becomes Christian's little world. But I like it like that, you know. What you can't change, you might as well enjoy it, alright? And that's my theory about everything. If you can't change something, fuck it, might as well get along with it. But yeah, that's my it's my Instagram live for today. I think that's enough of me speaking my mind. Thanks, Ray. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Conspiracy theory. No, you didn't, Corey. Conspiracy theories. So there's a shitload going on, but I don't think I'm that important to someone to nail me and made me disappear. Yeah, I'm not really like too deep into that. It's just more about, alright, oh shit, okay, I see. Okay, I see what they're doing. Alright, okay. Alright, you just keep doing you. I'll just do me. But anyway, guys, got about like 28 seconds. I don't know if I should hop back on or if I just should leave it. But it was fun, regardless, nevertheless. I don't know, man. This whole coronavirus thing makes you do a lot of thinking when you're at your house. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I might come back on or not. Peace.